Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. Chelsea 3, Watford 0. It is back to business the way that we got used to it being back into business. Chelsea with a win. It was comfortable. We didn't concede a goal. Corners, we actually defended a corner today and we did very well with it. And in today's video, we have got 6 things that we've learned, a series here that I do on the channel. It's basically a match review where I pick out 6 things and we rate them based off of the Chelsea performance. So, without any further ado, I'd like to ask you guys to subscribe if you're new around here. It's 5 in the morning. I got literally no sleep before this one again, which was a little bit of a struggle. So if I do seem as though I'm a little bit tired, you guys know that we're dealing with a nice little 5 a.m. video in front of the lights here today. So the first thing I want to address, which isn't really one of the 6 things that we've learned, but after all of the other Premier League results, Chelsea, despite it being annoying for me in terms of the late kickoffs, Chelsea, having seen other teams do a job, they're under more pressure. And after the result that we had against West Ham, where not only was the performance not very good, but we dropped points on our rivals again, Manchester United, they were absolutely phenomenal in their game at times earlier against Bournemouth. They win again. Bruno Fernandes looking good, Mason Greenwood on the score sheet. Arsenal beat Wolves so that Chelsea now go 5 points clear of Wolves, and Leicester City also got another victory at home. So the pressure was firmly on Chelsea today, and a Watford team who are also battling at the bottom. I'd go as far as to say that it doesn't really look as though Watford are actually battling at the moment. They seem to be one of the most careless teams since football has returned. They don't seem to have any urgency or emergency about their football whatsoever. But box number 1, going to give the blue box today. It's the second blue box ever. It's a new thing in the series where we give it to the man of the match. Mason Mount, I thought, was absolutely incredible. Yet again, I could have given man of the match to Christian Pulisic. The man completely changed the game, but the way that Mason played today, bundles of energy, which we always know is something we're going to see from Mason Mount, but a killer pass, an instinctive ball into Olivier Giroud. It was hit with pace, and as we always expect with Olivier Giroud, if the ball's in his left foot within the box, you know that there's a chance it could be in the back of the net. But I thought the way that Mason Mount created opportunities today was very good. I think when he was on the ball, he looked a lot more confident to spray the ball around. And one of the key things we said after that game against West Ham is that Chelsea, when they were in possession, were very slow. But what I think we saw from Mason today, above what we may have seen from him recently, is the ability to keep hold of the ball. But not only that, when he does have it, he's not holding on to it in positions where he's not actually progressing the play. I think that Mason was very good today, and the incisive pass for Olivier Giroud, and he came off after around 73 minutes, and it was a beautiful sight to see all those Chelsea Academy boys lining up. Mason Mount was fantastic, but we move into box number 2, and again, this man, every single time I make a video, I feel as though I can say even better things about him. Christian Pulisic, again, the man of the moment in terms of winning that penalty to give Chelsea the 2-0 lead. The second half, in terms of the way Chelsea played, the intensity didn't really go down, but Watford kind of got back into the game and Chelsea didn't create as many opportunities. But whenever Christian Pulisic is in the 18-yard box, he always looks as though he's going to win a penalty. And at the moment, even though it doesn't technically go down on his record as an assist, the Christian Pulisic wins a penalty, Willian puts it top corner, is one of the most beautiful combinations at Chelsea Football Club right now. He was an absolute delight to watch again. Even in the first half, he was trying to get shots away, trying to get into shooting positions, always looking to go forward. And I think moving forward next season, Christian Pulisic is one of the first names on this Chelsea team sheet right now. Captain America did the business yet again. And we've already spoken about him a little bit, but box number 3 is the target man, Olivier Giroud. We saw a very underwhelming performance from Tammy Abraham in that start he got against West Ham. Olivier Giroud comes back in, and he showed exactly what he brings to this Chelsea team. When I heard that Olivier Giroud might have been leaving in January, I was a little bit worried, because we know that if Tammy Abraham isn't firing, Frank Lampard doesn't really trust Michy Batshuayi, who probably is never going to be seen in a Chelsea shirt again, sadly. The tattoo will stay on my wrist though forever. Olivier Giroud was a big presence in the Chelsea team today, and the finish for goal number 1, Chelsea were dominating the possession. It's exactly what I said in my match preview. Watford will sit back with 2 blocks. Chelsea will have to try and find some way to carve an opening, and Olivier Giroud, when that ball is on his left foot in the box, you know he's just trying to sweep it around across the goalkeeper. Ben Foster denied Olivier Giroud what could have been a couple of goals today. So Olivier Giroud, I thought he vindicated yet again the trust and decision that Frank Lampard has in the Frenchman to be Chelsea's leading marksman. We know next season minutes may be even less, but the dedication and the quality that Olivier Giroud brings, as well as just being that person who is in the box to cause trouble. If he's not the one winning the ball, you know that he's going to take two defenders out of the game just by his sheer presence alone. So I think Olivier Giroud made a huge difference today. He's extremely agile, which I think if we're comparing him to Tammy Abraham right now, it looks as though Tammy is ready to fall over at the moment when he's on the pitch and he gets super frustrated with himself. So I think Olivier Giroud, that professionalism today, it was a routine Chelsea victory, 3-0. And Olivier Giroud, I thought, had a very, very good game up top. Pour myself a little drink at 5 in the morning, you know what I mean? Nice little glass of water. So this is a very positive video. We're into box number 4 and we're still talking green boxes, which is exactly the way we need things to be at Chelsea between now and the end of the season. I said in my match preview, after Marcus Alonso's performance, I expected Azpilicueta to shift over to the left-back role in this game, with Emerson looking likely to leave Chelsea to Inter Milan. It's exactly what we saw. Rhys James comes in, and I think the main thing that we always know that we're going to get with Rhys is the crossing. And again today, Chelsea could have had a couple from Rhys James crosses, but we didn't get on the end of it. The one towards the end of the game for Ruben is absolute genius. It's something we don't see enough in this Chelsea team. Early crosses put into the areas where it's a gamble. The defence either have to clear it immediately, or if a Chelsea player is in the box in the right place, we are going to score. And I think when we see these attacking additions that Chelsea have brought in for next season, Rhys James is going to be racking up the assists, similar to what we see at Liverpool with Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson on the left and Trent on the right. My questions that I've had this season about Rhys have been in a defensive state, and we saw that he did put one out for a corner in the first half when Chelsea weren't really being threatened by Watford. It was very important that on every transition that Watford had going forward, Chelsea were very aware of the attacking threat that they could pose, and I thought Rhys James was very composed. And I also think he held his shape very well. Sometimes happens with young players is they get caught out of position. Rhys James not only was an attacking threat going forward, but I think he looked very solid at the back, and Chelsea kept a clean sheet, which, considering we conceded 3 on Wednesday night against West Ham, that's a huge positive for Chelsea to take forward, and I think that we could see this back 4 maybe finish the rest of the season. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. So box number 5, I'm going to give it to the man who finished up the scoring today for Chelsea. I thought it was an extremely composed performance from Ross Barkley. Yet again, he's showing that he's very important to this Chelsea team when it comes to contributing goals from midfield. But I think the key thing we saw today from Ross, at times, his decision making in the final third isn't good. But I think what we saw with Chelsea dominating the possession, again, which is a big common theme that we've seen since the footballing restart, Ross Barkley, the way that he did construct the attack for Chelsea was very, very good. I think that he was always patient in possession. Sometimes he went forward and maybe the pass that he wanted from the winger wasn't there. So he'd turn back, he'd use his body to get between the defender and the ball. And in terms of the way that he retained the ball, which is something Ross is very good at, I think this is a prime example as to what he can bring this Chelsea team, be it in an attacking sense or being part of a midfield 3. I think Ross Barkley is kind of playing himself into Frank Lampard's plans for next season. Whether or not Chelsea are about to make a bid imminently for Kai Havertz, which I've heard is the case, now that the Bayer Leverkusen Bayern final is over, Ross Barkley will still be trying to play his way in. I think between now and the end of the season, Ross is going to be a key player for Chelsea, and he scored again today, wrapping up the victory for Chelsea, 3-0 victory. We move into box number 6. It kind of ties everything together within this video. It's just one big positive, 6 things we learned, which is absolutely huge. The 3 substitutions that came on, and then Billy Gilmour straight after. Chelsea's academy. You got Tammy Abraham coming off the bench. You got Callum Hudson-Odoi coming off the bench. Ruben Loftus-Cheek coming off the bench. And then a few seconds later, with N'Golo Kante coming off, Billy Gilmour came on. It was a huge moment seeing those players lined up on the touchline alongside Frank Lampard. Chelsea winning at Stamford Bridge, and you've got these boys that have come up. They know what Chelsea is. It's in their DNA. It's in their blood. These players are coming on. I know we've said it all season, and we're down towards the tail end of the season now, but it is a joy to my eyes, and the feeling that we have right now at Chelsea, it's still there. The result against West Ham, it kind of put us in just what I'd like to call a bad mood. We're still in the top 4, and we've got all of these positives, and I think from less of an emotional standpoint and from more of a footballing thought, the depth that Chelsea have in their team could be one of the reasons why we can get enough results between now and the end of the season in order to cement that top 4 spot. One final question that I do want to leave for you guys in the comments today though is, again, towards the end of the game when N'Golo Kante comes off with a little injury, Frank Lampard is calling upon Billy Gilmour to be the man to come on as opposed to Jorginho. We've seen Gilmour's get some minutes already so far since the restart. Jorginho has not played a single minute. Does this mean that Frank Lampard does not see Jorginho as part of Chelsea's plans for next season? He's giving Billy Gilmour the minutes when Kante is coming off, and it looks to me as though Jorginho might not be featuring again too much, if at all, between now and the end of the season. There's still a long way to go, there's still 5 matches, but Chelsea are still in 4th place, and after that defeat to West Ham, it was the perfect bounce-back victory. A clean sheet as well. I want to give a big shout-out to both Christensen and Zuma. I think that they didn't really have enough to do in the game for me to be able to warrant them getting a box, but I do feel as though they did look very solid, they looked confident, and I think the way that they carried the ball forward, Chelsea were much quicker in transition today, which was the key thing, moving from that performance that was poor against West Ham on Wednesday. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up now. Chelsea 3, Watford 0. We're still in the top 4 on a weekend where a lot of the teams around us put in very good performances with big wins as well. Chelsea are keeping up, and we remain in that Champions League spot. Let me know the 6 things that you learned in the comments down below. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Links to those in the description. Subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you all later. Bye-bye.